Guys, and welcome back. Well, there have been a lot of Detroit funeral homes with alleged baby corpses um, at two funeral homes in 1 week. Now, Detroit Police Chief James Craig announced a wide probe into Detroit's funeral homes Friday after hiding baby corpses, and they were allegedly discovered at two unrelated businesses inside a wig. Now, this is deeply disturbing, Craig said at a news conference hours after police raided Perry Funeral Home and allegedly seized 63 fetus or infant bodies. Now, more than half of which were packed together in unrefrigerated boxes. Now, Craig said, we want to understand the reason. Is it for financial gain? If so, how? And who knew or who else is involved in this? Now, the raid came a week after an anonymous letter led investigators to an abandoned funeral home on the other side of central Detroit, where they allegedly found nearly a dozen infant corpses hiding in a ceiling. Now, he goes on and say he likes to look at you and tell you, I hope that this is isolated to these two. I can't say that with certainty, Craig told reporters shortly after leaving a meeting with FBI and state investigators. This is much larger than we might know. Now, the police chief gave few details about the investigation and declined to speculate as to what would motivate someone to keep tiny corpses long after they were supposed to have been entered. All the same, he described how the case escalated rapidly from a single anonymous tip into a full-blown investigative task force that could now probe businesses throughout the state. Now, the case began last week at a Contrail Funeral Home in East Detroit, which had been shuttered since the spring over accusation that adult corpses had been improperly stored to the point of growing mold. My goodness. Now, an unsigned letter received on October 12th urged investigators to return to the business and search it. Now, the note led them to what police described as a hidden compartment in a ceiling containing a casket, cardboard boxes, several trash bags, and the remains of 11 dead infants. Now, speaking to reporters on the night of the discovery, a police sergeant attributed to bodies condition to just the callousness of the owner, the operator, the employees of the funeral home. Nevertheless, police opened a criminal investigation into the matter this week. Investigators then got a second tip, leading them to a second funeral home. Now, a parent saw the story about Contrail Funeral Home in the news, and Craig told reporters his attorneys he wanted to go to the police. Now, the Detroit News wrote that the tipster were the parents of Alea Davis, who died of respiratory failure minutes after she was born in late 2014. Now, the mother and father sued Perry Funeral Home in July, alleging that the company had claimed to bury Alea and several other infants at a particular cemetery, but had actually stored their bodies for years in a mortuary school morgue. Now, Perry went so far as to issue fraudulent death certificates for the infants, the parents alleged, and billed Medicaid and the hospitals for funerals that were not performed. Now, the Washington Post could not independently review the lawsuit, but Craig said the allegations in the lawsuit led them to raid Perry Funeral Home. Now, inside on Friday afternoon, they found 3 unrefrigerated boxes containing the remains of a total of approximately 36 deceased bodies of fetuses or infants. Now, according to a statement from the Michigan Department of Licensing and Regulatory Affairs, plus a deep freezer containing an unknown number of additional deceased bodies. Oh no. Now, the agency alleged that Perry and its director, Greg Deek, failed to file death certificates for at least some of those bodies and stored them without being the family's permission and improperly held them for months, long enough to constitute a state felony punishable by up to 10 years in prison. Now, Perry Funeral Home had its license revoked immediately after the raid and is now shuttered like contrails before it. While a criminal investigation is underway, no one has been reported arrested in either case, not yet. Now, the police chief, Craig, said a task force of local and state police, FBI advisors, and other investigators has been assembled to look for any possible connection between the 2 funeral homes, any possible reason for hoarding infant corpses, and the possibility that businesses in the region could have done the same. Now, we have tremendous work today, the police chief said. We know some of it may take us a while, or away or out of the city of Detroit. Well, guys, what do you think about this? Now, this is awful. Now, for them to be doing this, keeping, it's got to be some monetary gain. I don't know if they were selling these, for sales, melanin, whatever. I don't know. Or just keeping the, just charging the families for funerals and keeping the caskets. And I don't know. But this is very disturbing. Very disturbing. Yes, and then a couple of months, it came out that the funeral home that Aretha, well, not actually the funeral home that Aretha body was in, but it was another funeral home, which was run by the son. His funeral home was closed and his license, but he was directing Aretha's funeral, so got in trouble for that. But my goodness, I tell you, you don't know. I mean, hey, you give your loved ones to the funeral home thinking that they will give it take care of the body, and you trusting them to the body, and they do something like this. I mean, come on. That I'm sure they have some type of laws on how do you handle a corpse, and that should be some type of felony there. Um, Disposing of a corpse in a way that's not satisfactory. I don't know, but I tell you what, they're going to find out why these funeral homes, and I'm sure they had some link. Why were they saving these fetuses and infants? What were they going to do? Sell it to a lab, or I don't know. But I am I'll be following this story and let you know what happens. My goodness. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you will like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And as always important, be blessed, y'all.